Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. Our today's topic is the need and scope of systematics and taxonomy, which is a part of our first chapter, The Living World of 11th Standard. Now we are going to start our topic, the need and scope of systematics. In this, the first point is study of organism. There are over 1 million type of animals and 500,000 type of plants existing on earth. All of them cannot be studied individually. Systematics provide us with the mean to study a few organisms of a group and get a fair idea about the essential features of the organism belonging to that group. For example, among bryophytes, the study of only 3 plants, Mertensia, Anthocera and Fernia, help us to understand the main feature of group having about 24,000 species. Only a few plants and animals occur in a given locality. The outside organism cannot be studied without the proper systematics. Systematics is also a tool to identify fossils and newly discovered organisms. Our next point is evolution. Systematics allow us to know about the organic diversity, relationship and evolutionary tendencies among the organisms. Next topic, ecology. An ecological survey of an area is possible only after the identification of flora and fauna of that area. Herbaria, floras and manuals based on the systematics are useful for this study. Further, the ecological balance is maintained in the nature by a web of interrelationship and food chains among the different organisms. Destruction of some or introduction of new organism disturb this web and bring about the ecological chaos. Thus, the rabbit and opensia introduced in Australia caused a havoc to agriculture and forestry of that country. Similarly, in India, the weed Euphorbia odoratum replaced the teak forest of East India, while Lantana camara occupy the largest forest area in UP. Next, indicator organism. They are plant and animals which live in specific type of soil or environment. Thus, the type and intensity of water pollution can be noted by the identifying the organism in that water. For example, Protestant Colpidium. Likewise, some other organisms give us information about the minerals found in an area. Groundwater is indicated by some plants. Even the availability of coal and petroleum can be detected by the identification of fossils. In other disciplines, the knowledge of systematics is essential for proper study of every other branch of biology, such as physiology, anatomy, morphology, pathology, genetics, cytology, population biology, etc. In applied biology, systematics is connected to the all sections of applied biology. The improvement of crops through breeding require the knowledge of all types of varieties, subspecies and related species. Only after a thorough study of genetic pool in the different categories would be breeder decided upon the crossing pattern. In forestry, we not only require the knowledge of all type of plants growing in different strata, but also about the animals. Some of the animals are useful, while some are harmful. Insects and some other animals are also pests of crop plants. Therefore, they must be identified properly. Besides identification, the habitat and development of pests should be studied to know control measures by the insecticides and introduction of natural predators. Many insects spreads disease. The identification of organisms spreading disease, study of their feeding habitat, breeding, causativity, etc. are possible through the systematics only. Systematics is also required in the obtaining and processing of aquatic foods, conservation of natural resources is also a part of applied biology. Now here are some terminologies. First term is systematics. Systematics is a term often used interchangeably with taxonomy. According to the Simpson in 1961, systematics is the science that deals with the diversity of organisms and all their comparative and evolutionary relationship based on the study of comparative anatomy, development, comparative biochemistry, comparative physiology, comparative ecology by the grouping of organisms at every level of classification right from species to the kingdom. Our next term is taxonomy. It is a branch of study that deals with the principle and procedure of identification, nomenclature and classification of organism. Next term is classification. Classification is the classification is the arrangement of organism into convenient categories or group on the basis of their similarities and differences in certain easily observable and fundamental characters. Then the hierarchy of characteristics is raised, keeping in mind the affinity or relationship of various groups. Therefore, the categories or taxonomic categories represent the distinct biological entities and do not merely morphological aggregates. The various categories are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. Next term is nomenclature. It is the science of providing distinct and proper name of an organism so that they can be easily recognized and differentiate from the others. Through nomenclature, each organism is given two-word name, generic and specific. For example, Mangifera indica. It is the name of mango. Our next term is identification. The identification is the finding of correct name and place of organism in a system of classification. Identification is done with the help of keys. There is carried out by determining similarities with already known organisms. Suppose there are three types of animals belonging to different species XYZ. An animal T is found in a locality belong to surveyed. It is found to resemble the species Y. The finding that animal T belong to the species Y is its identification. Our next term is key. It is a list of alternate characters arranged in such a manner that by the selection and elimination one can easily identify an organism to its name and position. This is all about the need and scope of systematics, and some terms are here.